Hi besties, welcome back to my channel, or hi, my name is Stacy if you're new here. So in today's video, we're doing an AAPI month themed Get Ready With Me. Since May is AAPI month, most of the products on my face right now are from AAPI-owned brands. There are a couple of products I don't have from AAPI brands, so that's why there's like a couple things in there, but like all the main products are from AAPI brands. I wanted to make this video today just to highlight AAPI founders and creators in the beauty space. Just want to give them some love. I also didn't really include K-beauty or products like from Asia because the Asian experience is very distinct from the Asian American experience, so I want to highlight Asian American founders. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. It really helps out my channel and it would really mean a lot to me. And let's just get right into the video. Okay, so first I'm going to start off with the Tatcha, the liquid silk canvas. It looks like this. And I have the mini size because I just like don't use primer that much. But I do think that this does like fill in my pores and kind of make my base smoother. Also, we have a new friend with us today, so if you see her, we don't talk about her. So I just tend to apply this to the places where I have the biggest pores, which is like in my T-zone. Okay, it just makes my skin feel very velvety. Okay, next up for foundation, I'm gonna go in with the Tower 28 Sunny Days Tinted SPF, which I think is a little bit dark for me right now, so I'm gonna mix in like a tiny bit of this Rare Beauty tinted moisturizer that's like light, so then hopefully we'll have a good shade match. Okay, I think this should be an okay color. I like that this one is really easy to spread. It just kind of glides across the skin. You can see how easily that just like blends right in. Okay, so I didn't use that much product, but as you can see, it's like a light medium coverage. But if I use a little bit more, I feel like it would be closer to a medium. Like, it actually has pretty good coverage for a like tinted moisturizer type product. Now I'm just gonna use some concealer. So I don't have any like Asian owned concealers. So I'm just gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of talk about why I chose this theme for today's video, which just goes back to, I think, like the importance of representation. Like, I know that's kind of like a hot topic these days, but I feel like representation like actually does make a difference, you know what I mean? It just makes people, first of all, like feel a sense of belonging where they might not have before. Like, for example, like on TV. When I was growing up, there were like no Asians on TV, basically. The only ones I can think of are like Mulan, and then London Tipton from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. She was my idol. And like maybe like Trixie Tang from The Fairly Odd Parents on Nickelodeon. But, you know, like the representation was just not it back in my day. And I'm not even like old. And definitely recently, like we've been seeing a lot more Asians on the big screen and stuff like that, which I'm happy about. Like we got Shang-Chi, we got Everything Everywhere All at Once, Crazy Rich Asians, which like when I was growing up, like we didn't have any of that. So I feel like we're going in the right direction with, you know, Asian representation. Even in Bridgerton with like South Asian representation. Like I'm saying like 10, 15 years ago, we wouldn't have had any of that. So I feel like it's just gonna be easier for kids nowadays to like feel like they belong, hopefully. And also I think to have like different dreams, you know, like dream bigger, because you see these other people who are doing these like, I guess like non-traditional jobs, or like especially in the Asian community, because generally speaking you're expected to just get like a corporate stable job or like become a doctor, lawyer, etc, etc. I'm saying like, why don't Asians dream of becoming CEOs, you know? I mean, as like a collective whole, or politicians, I don't know. But it's because like historically we haven't like seen that. So it's like you don't even like realize that it's an option until like you see it and you're like, wow, like this person's doing this. Like I can do that too. Like that kind of thing. So at least in the beauty space, I feel like very inspired by these Asian creators and founders, because it's like they became CEOs, they started their own beauty company, so it's like maybe one day I could too, you know what I mean? It's a very inspiring feeling to like be able to see someone who like looks like you in a certain position that like you hope maybe like one day you could be too. Even if it's not like a job aspiration, like for example, like when you see like actors or models or whatever that are Asian, it just goes back to the thing I said earlier about like feeling like you belong. If you never see your face like in media, especially as a child, you would be like, oh, like why do I look different? Or if you're only relegated to certain roles, historically like the nerd or like the kung fu master or whatever, you're like, is that all Asians are expected to do? So that's why I feel like representation is so important. I think especially for children, like as they're growing up, but even for me now, because like I'm an adult, but when I see Asian faces in media, I just feel happy. There's definitely still a long ways to go with representation. It's not like it's perfect yet. We're definitely going in the right direction so far with that. Okay, now I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera because I also don't have any Asian eyebrow products, and then I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back with brows on. So for eyeshadow, I'm gonna use this Patrick Ta Rose palette for the mattes, because then I want to go in with this Kaja Beauty Bento trio for the glitters. First I'm gonna go in with the lightest peachy shade. Oh yeah, and today we're going warm tone, like for a peachy warm tone look, because I feel like I haven't done a warm tone look on here in a while. Sometimes you just want to switch it up, you know? Anyway, back to Asian representation. I was thinking earlier about how when I was a child, like obviously I didn't see a lot of people who look like me in media, so that actually made me turn to Asian media from Asia. Specifically when I was 5, I think, I used to watch these Chinese dramas and cartoons. I used to watch this show called 还珠格格, which is like, I forget the English name, but I think it's like Return of the Pearl Princess or something. But yeah, I love that show because it was about like these princesses and like royalty during the Chinese like Qing dynasty. It was fiction, but that definitely sparked my love of historical dramas. Okay, and then I'm gonna build some depth using this shade right here. Yeah, and then when I was about like 10, I discovered the world of K-pop. The first K-pop song I ever heard was G by Girls' Generation, and then I was obsessed. It's actually funny because I used to only watch like girl groups as a kid, but I think that just kind of goes to show, like, I watched it because I thought they were pretty, I liked the music, and I wanted to like be like them, kind of. But I'm saying like because there was none of that type of media like portraying Asians like that in the West. So yeah, that's what started my love of K-pop. I'm not really like as into K-pop nowadays, but I definitely was. And then I go through like phases too. Like, I feel like I'm always kind of in it, but I'm not like super obsessed. I also went through a BTS phase. That was for a few years, but honestly it was actually before they like super blew up, because now I'm definitely more of like a casual fan, but before I definitely was like hardcore ARMY, you know? But anyways, I think at the time, I mean this was like subconsciously, but it was refreshing to see Asians portrayed as main leads, as attractive, as like the main love interest, like in K-dramas, having a variety of roles. I think that's why I was drawn to like Asian media in the first place, because I wasn't getting that in the other stuff that I was watching. Nowadays, at least we do have some roles like that, but definitely, first of all, they're always reusing like the same few Asian actors, like Simu Liu, Michelle Yeoh, Constance Wu, Aquafina. Like, can we get some more actors on the scene, please? I think it's just because like those ones have already kind of proven themselves, as in like the film companies know they can make big money from them, so they're not really like risking anything, quote unquote, by hiring them as Asian actors. It's just like we need more. And that's what I mean by like the representation isn't perfect yet, but I believe that we will get there one day. I want to go in with this Kaja Bento stack. Also, this is in the shade O2 Orange Blossom. But first, I want to use some of this NYX glitter glue because I've never actually used this before. I heard it, you know, decreases fallout and stuff, so I'm gonna use it today. Because I saw Michaela on TikTok uses this. But anyway, so that's why I think representation is just so important. And that's also part of the reason why I feel motivated to, you know, do this YouTube channel and my other social media channels. Going in with this second shade in the stack, because I've actually gotten quite a few comments from you guys saying that, like, you know, you look up to me, or you're glad you finally found someone with your facial features like to review this type of makeup, or like to do looks with. I've gotten numerous comments saying, oh, like you're the first person with Asian features who like I saw review this palette or whatever. And I've also gotten a few other comments saying like, oh, like you made me feel more confident to like be doing makeup on my Asian features, because it's like, you know, you finally see someone who looks similar to you doing it, which I feel like is just really powerful. Obviously, I'm not the only Asian creator on here, but I think, you know, like the more the merrier. Also, look how fire this eyeshadow is. It's kind of giving. And I also grew up watching Asian creators on YouTube, also because there weren't any in mainstream media. But when YouTube was first starting off, we got Wong Fu, we got Michelle Phan, we got Bub's Beauty back in the day. And like that was super inspiring, I remember, like as a kid, because they were all like funny or cool or artistic and talented and all those things. And at the time, like just Asian kids like did not have anything like that to look up to. That's kind of what I want to be like. And I want people who look like me to feel confident in themselves, in their looks, in their heritage, like in everything about them. So yeah, that's why I just felt like it was very important to talk about. Okay, that glitter glue definitely did something, because there's not a single drop of fallout, and I feel like it made it extra impactful. Also gonna go in with the top color, which is more of like a pinky gold shade, and we're gonna use that in our egg cell in inner corner. But anyway, so I'm glad that I can like kind of add to the representation, just hopefully be that inspiration to some people, just as like other Asian creators before me have been an inspiration. Okay, also this Kaja stack is giving. Like, I haven't used the Kaja shadows in a while, but they definitely are so good. Like, they're just so super shimmery and pretty. But anyway, comment down below who your favorite Asian creators are. I probably watch them, but you know, I'm always looking to watch more people. Well, I guess if they're in the like beauty or lifestyle niche. Let me think of who my favorites are. Definitely right off the top of my head, Jessica Vu. Like, I'm super inspired by her, I feel like she's just super creative and I love her aesthetic. I'm gonna go in with this shade just as a shadow liner. Obviously Michelle Phan is an OG. I guess I haven't been watching her much these days, but she has started posting again. As for more like lifestyle, oh, I love Stephanie Sue. I mean, she's not lifestyle, I guess she's like a mukbanger. Brittany Lee. I like watching the Ha sisters. But yeah, these are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head that are favorites, but I definitely watch a lot more creators. So yeah, let me know who your guys' favorites are. I think that's the eyeshadow basically all done. So now I'm gonna go off camera, do my mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back with the eyes all done. You can see a nice coral peachy moment. Okay, so actually I want to do a little bit of contouring. I don't have any Asian American contour products, but I'm going to use this Peripera Ink shading in the shade Hazel Gray. So I'm just going to slim my face down a little. I've seen a lot of Korean beauty YouTubers do this. Basically, like, they kind of just buff along their face. Like, you know how in like Western makeup, it's mostly about like cutting the cheekbones, but they don't really do that, or like maybe they do a little bit. But it's mostly about like shaving the sides of the face down. And it's also like super subtle. At least this is what I've noticed from watching Korean YouTubers. It's funny because normally like when I see people contour, it's like horizontal, but they contour vertically, if that makes sense. And then also definitely in the double chin, we're gonna need some. And they also like to use like a really big fluffy brush like this and just kind of buff it in. I don't know, I feel like that just helps add some dimension back to the face, but like in a really natural way. Also contouring the forehead. I think because we're using such a light hand, it makes it hard to like mess up, you know? And the shade is pretty light too. I'm gonna cut my cheekbones a little bit, but nothing crazy, just to add some definition. Okay, and then contour my nose. You just use a smaller brush. Also, this contour is so subtle that I don't realize how snatched my nose is until like after I'm done, and then I'm like, wow, like that really actually changed my nose. But like up close, it's like I can't see the powder or like where the color stops and starts, you know? Okay, I think that's enough contouring. Okay, this is what I based my whole look around basically in my head. It's a Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush. Looks like this, and this is in the shade Do We Know Her. So I haven't used these duos in a bit just because I've been buying so many new blushes lately. I just really wanted this peachy moment. Also, like this shade of peach is like really juicy. I don't know. Like it's very fresh and juicy. So first I'm just gonna use the powder. Look how cute. It makes me look like a little peach, especially with my green shirt. And also I want to blend it like really high. Like I'm trying to kind of blend it into my under eye. It's kind of been a trend lately, and I've been actually really liking how it looks. Also, generally speaking, I do kind of blend my blush like at least really high up because I usually use like full coverage concealer, so it's kind of weird if like your blush is like here, so you have like pink and then like stark white basically up there. So you want to kind of just like blend it in so it looks more seamless. Let me put some on my nose. Okay, blush also helps to contour your nose a little bit, like if you put it at the tip. We're gonna go with the cream on top. I guess we're going for a very blushy look today. Also, yeah, you can tell Patrick Ta is one of my favorite brands. Just all of his products they give so hard. That's enough blush. Let me quickly remove my lip oil I have on and I'll be right back. I'm gonna line my lips first with Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. I don't have an Asian American lip liner because I only own like 3 to begin with. So we'll just line the lips first. I was gonna say, I also don't have that many Asian American lipsticks. A lot of the lip products I own are actually K-Beauty, and I'm not really including K-Beauty in this video because like Asian and Asian American is like a totally different experience. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this M Cosmetics Lip Cloud in the shade Magic Hour. This is a really pretty pinky peachy shade. Look how velvety that is. I like that it gives you that like blurred lip look. But I do want to go in with some gloss. I'm going to go in with this Tower 28 gloss. This is in the shade Pistachio. I also love Tower 28 as a brand. They're clean, woman-owned, and actually the founder, Amy Liu, has actually talked about Asian representation. Look how pretty that is. I'm going to set my face with my Huda Cupcake Powder. Just the under eyes and T-zone, really. This powder is so smoothing. Then Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. Okay, what do we think of the final look? I think it looks super cute and peachy and very summery. I'm really liking the whole like color combination going on here. Anyways, that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys found it helpful. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like this video, and comment and subscribe down below if you want to see more content like this, because it really helps out my channel and it would really mean a lot to me. Happy AAPI month once again, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!